Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we re-diving into one of the most enduring and fascinating mysteries of the 20th century. The Philadelphia experiment. Did the US Navy really figure out how to teleport an entire warship, the USS Eldridge, back in 1943? It's a story filled with secret technology, strange phenomena, and a cast of characters that could be straight out of a science fiction blockbuster. So, buckle up, because we're about to separate the facts from the fiction and explore the legend that has captivated conspiracy theorists and historians for decades. The story begins during the height of World War II. The Battle of the Atlantic was raging, and German U-boats were a constant, deadly threat to Allied shipping. Losing ships meant losing supplies, troops, and a vital lifeline. The pressure was on for a game-changing technological advantage. According to the legend, this pressure gave birth to Project Rainbow, a top-secret experiment conducted at the Philadelphia Naval Shipyard. The goal? To use a powerful application of Einstein's unified field theory to render a ship invisible to enemy radar. But what allegedly happened went far beyond simple radar cloaking. The central figure in this tale, who brought it to public attention years later, was a man named Carlos Allende, or sometimes Carl Allen. In the mid-1950s, he sent a series of bizarre, annotated letters to a UFO researcher named Maurice K. Allende, claimed to have been a merchant mariner who witnessed the experiment from a nearby ship, the SS Andrew Furios. He described a chilling scene. On October 28, 1943, the USS Eldridge was supposedly wrapped in a strange, greenish fog. Then, it flickered and vanished completely from sight in Philadelphia. But that's not even the wildest part. According to Allende's account, the Eldridge didn't just become invisible. It was allegedly teleported hundreds of miles away to Norfolk, Virginia, where it was seen for several minutes by naval personnel. Then, just as suddenly, it reappeared back in the Philadelphia shipyard. The experiment, while technically a success in terms of transportation, was said to have had horrific consequences for the crew. The story goes that when the Eldridge some sailors were fused into the ship's metal bulkheads, still alive but trapped. Others were said to have gone hopelessly insane. Some reportedly burst into flames or vanished into thin air, never to be seen again. It's a truly terrifying image, and it's the core of what makes this legend so compelling and horrifying. So, how much of this is true? Let's bring in the official story. The US Navy has consistently and categorically denied that any such experiment ever took place. They maintain that the Philadelphia experiment is a hoax, a work of fiction. Their records showed that the USS Eldridge, a Cannon-class destroyer escort, was commissioned in August 1943. Its official ship logs, which are public record, place it on its shakedown cruise in the Bahamas during the time the alleged experiment was happening in Philadelphia. The logs show no unusual activity and certainly no trips to Norfolk and back in the span of a few minutes. So, where did this incredible story come from? Skeptics and researchers point to a much more mundane, but still interesting, naval procedure called Degaussing. During World War II, ships were fitted with a system of electrical cables that would generate a powerful magnetic field. The purpose was to cancel out the ship's own magnetic signature, making it invisible not to radar, but to magnetically triggered sea mines and torpedoes used by German submarines. This process involved wrapping the ship in large cables and passing a high-voltage current through them. To an uninformed observer on a nearby ship, seeing a warship wrapped in cables and surrounded by the electrical hum and potential visual phenomena of a degaussing procedure could certainly look mysterious and it's very possible that this routine, but classified, procedure was witnessed by someone who didn't understand what they were seeing. Over time, through exaggeration and the lens of 1950s sci-fi paranoia, a degaussing trial could have morphed into a teleportation experiment. What about the green fog? That could be explained by something called St. Elmo's fire, a weather phenomenon where a glowing plasma is created by a strong electrical field in the atmosphere. Often seen on ships at sea during thunderstorms, it can appear as a greenish or bluish glow, and it's a perfectly natural, if eerie, occurrence. Let's also look at the man who started it all, Carlos Allende. Investigations into his life revealed a man with a history of mental health challenges, and a tendency to live in a fantasy world. His letters were filled with rambling, incoherent notes, and his story changed over time. It seems more likely that he was a troubled individual who either fabricated the tale or genuinely misinterpreted something he saw, blending it with his own imaginative ideas. The Navy itself concluded that Allende had likely created an elaborate hoax. And what about Maurice K. Jessup, the researcher who received the letters? Tragically, his story ends in sadness. After his book on UFOs failed to sell well, and after being ridiculed for his interest in Allende's strange claims, Jessup fell into a deep depression. He was found in his car in 1959 in what was ruled as suicide. Some conspiracy theorists believe he was silenced because he got too close to the truth, but there's no evidence to support this. It's more likely a sad tale of a man who became overwhelmed by personal and professional difficulties. Despite all the evidence against it, the Philadelphia experiment refuses to die. Why? Because it's a fantastic story. It taps into our fascination with secret government projects, lost technology, and the very limits of physics. It's a modern myth that combines the real anxieties of wartime with the futuristic dreams of science fiction. The idea that we could bend space and time, but at a terrible human cost, is a powerful narrative. It has inspired countless books, documentaries, and even major Hollywood movies. The story is just too good to let the facts get in the way. So, in the end, what can we conclude? The official records, the scientific principles, and the background of the key players all point to one thing. The Philadelphia experiment, as it is popularly told, almost certainly did not happen. There was no teleporting warship, no sailors fused to the deck. Instead, what we likely have is a combination of a real, but misunderstood, naval technology degaussing, mixed with the vivid imagination of a single individual, and amplified by decades of public fascination with the unknown. The legend is a testament to the power of storytelling and how a myth can become more powerful than reality. It's a ghost story for the technological age, a whisper of what might be possible in the darkest corners of secret research labs. What do you think? Do you believe there might be a kernel of truth hidden in the legend? Or is it pure science fiction? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. I love reading your theories and ideas on these mysteries. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into the strange case of the USS Eldridge. If you enjoyed this exploration of history's great mysteries, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel for more content just like this. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Until next time, stay curious.